About 4 to 5 months ago, Matteo Lemon did say this. He wants to work in the free agent market yet again. That is what they're going to be doing in the January transfer window at some point, or maybe even in the summer of 2023. That is their whole idea. Barcelona simply just do not want to spend a lot of money or any of their funds. And I have no problem with Barcelona going into the free agent market, mainly because we could find some gems. You may assume that just because Barcelona is going into the free agent market, that there is going to be low quality players, when that is not true. Christensen came into FC Barcelona for free, and look at Christensen today. He is going to be considered as one of the best center backs in the world in about 2 or 3 years. You look at the type of performances he has been doing with Araujo and Koundé. They are a true trio in the defense. So Barcelona can find some gems in the free agent market, and the worst case scenario if we do bring in free agents is if they don't do well, Barcelona can just sell that player for even 1 million euros and still profit. So Barcelona will have very little downside if things just don't work out in the end. And you look at the amount of free agents that will be coming in the summer of 2023 and who Barcelona can look forward with. It could be Skriniar from Inter Milan, it could be even Messi from PSG, Tielemans from Leicester City, Karim Benzema from Real Madrid, Jorginho, Zaha, Thuram, Lemar, Kante. There's numerous players. I'm very aware that some players may renew, some may not, but in the end there is so many players that Barcelona could work with. And if you look at the bottom, one of the players that Barcelona could go for, it is Gundogan, who has been a player that has emerged back into the scenes, and especially within the media of FC Barcelona. And so yes, Gundogan is going to be a free agent in the summer if he does not end up renewing. And of course, the battle between Barcelona and Manchester City is going to be so tense. The reports do state this: the talks have begun between Man City and Gundogan over a new deal. Barcelona have inquired about the player, but nothing more. Gundogan is highly valued at Barcelona, although there are doubts over his age and also the salary. Man City have offered him a new deal worth around the range of 12 million euros net per year. That is the type of salary that Barcelona would never give out to Gundogan. If Gundogan is looking for a big salary in his next contract, then yes, most likely this player will renew with Man City. But if Gundogan wants to succeed sportingly, if he's looking for a brand new journey, then Barcelona could be the destination for him. Now, this is also telling us that Man City do want to maintain this player because they believe that he could add great value. And I understand, right? I understand that Gundogan is 32 years old, but he's still performing very well. His age is the reason why many fans and many people are denying the transfer of Gundogan for him to come to FC Barcelona, right? Because the most popular players in the eyes of many fans, it is the players who are very young, players who are potentially going to be one of the best players in the world in about 4 to 5 years. I understand that. But if you look at the era that we are in football, there are many top players within the age range of 33 to 36 years old, right? These players are having much more longevity than ever before. I don't know if it has something to do with like new medicine, new methods of training, new methods of like dieting with your foods, meeting with great physiotherapists, and just seeing how everything is evolving. This is in general a gift to the world to see that medicine is improving, training is improving, the fact that 50-year-olds have better quality of life overall. Like, we're just talking about in general, not even just in sports. And the fact that things like this are being implemented in football, which is the reason why we see Lewandowski still scoring goals, Gundogan still playing well, Messi still playing well at the age of 35 years old, Ronaldo still going out there scoring goals, scoring a hat-trick. It's extraordinary. So to see Gundogan come in at Barcelona at just 33 years old and still perform at a good level with many experiences, it would be an extraordinary signing for FC Barcelona. Gundogan, if he were to come, would also meet his old teammate, which is Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres has been a player that has not been doing well at all mentally, and Gundogan can be that mentor to Ferran Torres. And of course, they can perform a great duo on the pitch. Another thing that I like is that Gundogan has played with Pep Guardiola in the past 7 years, and you and me know how Pep and Xavi do work. They view football in the exact same way. So once Gundogan does come to this club, he'll already understand 90% of what Xavi does need from an interior midfielder. And the fact that Pep Guardiola has also used a 3-2-2-3 formation against Tottenham, which was about 2 days ago, the exact same formation that Xavi has been using with Barcelona, which has worked amazingly. It shows you that, again, Gundogan will come into Barcelona looking at the exact same type of systems, the exact same types of coaches, and he did deliver in that 3-2-2-3 system, playing as a double pivot with Rodri. So can you imagine what Gundogan could do with Frankie de Jong or Brozovic, whoever it may be, by the time we head towards the next season? So I do see Barcelona playing this player in 2 different positions. He can play as a defensive midfielder in case we go into a 3-2-2-3, or maybe even play as a central midfielder. Let's say, for example, Pedri gets injured, or he needs rest, or Xavi gets injured and he needs rest. Gundogan would be a great alternative. But at the moment, I want to make things very clear. Many reports are also stating, coming from Gerard Romero and also Fabrizio Romano, that nothing big is happening regarding Gundogan at the moment with FC Barcelona. The only thing that we know is that the talks have begun between Man City and Gundogan. If Gundogan says, I'm not really interested, I don't think I want to renew, I want to try something different, then that is where we can really say, okay, there is a chance that this player could join Barcelona. So now let's move on towards the next phase of this video, and now let's talk about Parejo, because it does say here, according to Javi Miguel, Barcelona and Xavi's interest in Parejo is very real, but it will only be considered if Busquets leaves in the summer. Xavi wants Busquets to stay for one more year, so if he does renew, then there will be no Parejo. So let's assume that Sergio Busquets does leave, right? He goes to the MLS or Inter Miami. Do I believe that Parejo would be like the direct replacement of Sergio Busquets in terms of the role and what Busquets can do on the pitch? I don't think that is the best idea. I don't think that is the best answer neither, because defensively he is solid. Of course, Parejo is a great central defensive midfielder. He can also sometimes play in areas where central midfielders do play. And do I also believe that he's good enough to be at Barcelona and maybe start some games? Yes, of course, Parejo is a great player. I don't want to take anything away from him, but for him to be a direct replacement of Sergio Busquets, that is where I'm going to say no, I don't think so, right? Because Parejo is not a player that is a ball holder. He cannot hold the ball for a very long time, and especially when one of the players or like 2 or 3 players are pressing that specific player, which could be Parejo. He cannot maintain, he cannot protect the ball for long enough. Yes, he can dribble with the ball, he's okay with that, but players like Frankie Busquets and even Nico Gonzalez can do so much better. Another great and real alternative and a direct replacement to Sergio Busquets, it is Zubimendi. But at the moment, someone like Parejo, since we are talking about him, he needs to get rid of the ball very quickly, which he does very well. But again, in the system of Barcelona, you need a great holder. The only real benefit I do see from Parejo joining this club is Xavi using this player for the sake of putting him in the locker room with players like Gavi, Pedri, Ferran Torres, Ansu Fati, for all of these young players, because this is a player that does bring the experience, right? He is a veteran, and he is especially a veteran in the locker room, and he can especially be a veteran with the Barcelona squad because we have so many young players, and many people do undervalue what a experienced player could bring. I think that he can bring so much good qualities, so much good positivity around our young players, because some young players within this Barcelona squad are not going through their best phases, and Parejo can pull them through. And this is also a player that has lived through high-stake situations. Let's remember that Ansu Fati, Dembele, Gavi, Pedri, Araujo, Alejandro Balde, and much more, right? Many of these players have not experienced what it's like to play in the Champions League semifinal. Guys, Parejo has been a player that has been in the Champions League semifinal and also taking down a team like Bayern Munich. He knows what it means to stay calm under pressure, deliver in the best way possible, don't get too nervous. He would be a great locker room presence, which is why I would welcome this player if Busquets does leave, but it depends on how we use him moving forward. Do I see him as like an option, right, in the starting 11? Yes, I do. But do I see him in the main starting 11 100% of the time? I don't think so. I think that the best duo that we could have next season in that 3-2-2-3 system would be Brozovic and Frankie de Jong, and nothing more. Obviously, the first option and real option would be Zubimendi with Frankie, but at the moment, it doesn't seem like Barcelona are going to be paying 60 million euros for Zubimendi. And now the last player that I do want to speak about will be Memphis Depay, and we're also going to be talking about Carrasco, and I'm going to be explaining why Carrasco is in this conversation. So earlier today, it was announced that Memphis has completed his move 100% with Atletico Madrid. He has signed a contract for 3.5 years, and I think that this move was needed for everybody. But again, first things first, I wish this player a lot of luck, but there are 2 things that I do want to speak about. Point number 1, now seeing that Barcelona have room within the wage bill, seeing how they took off about 5 to 6 to 7 million euros from the wages, the salary bill, right? I'm very much looking forward to who Barcelona is going to be signing next in this January transfer window. There has been many names that has surfaced onto the media. We just do not know who Xavi is going to pick out and what we actually do need. Xavi has already said, if a player leaves, I want a player to come back in, a brand new player. I don't know if that's going to be a direct replacement to Memphis Depay, a brand new left winger, a brand new striker. Could it be a Aubameyang, a player that I really do want personally for myself? So we don't know. Point number 2, within these negotiations of Memphis moving to Atletico Madrid, Barcelona have added a very interesting clause, and it does say here that Barcelona have officially confirmed that they will have a non-mandatory buy option on Carrasco, meaning that if they want to buy this player, they could, and they attach this type of buy option within the Memphis Depay deal. So if Barcelona say, you know what, I want to bring in Carrasco in the summer of 2023, they have an exclusive deal with Atletico Madrid for a total of around 15 to 20 million euros. So if Atletico Madrid say we're going to be pricing Carrasco at 60 million euros or 45 million euros to the rest of the other clubs, Barcelona can say, you can't demand that from us because we have a clause within the contract of Memphis Depay. You swore to us that if we want Carrasco, you would give us a deal for around 15 to 20 million euros. This has been a deal that no one has been talking about, like this clause that has been implemented, because this is a reasonable price for a player like him. Mateo Lemon and the agent have done a great job negotiating how Barcelona can further benefit off of this sale of Memphis. And you better bet that Carrasco will be one of the options in the summer. I do think that Barcelona will go for different options, like higher profile, higher level type of wingers in the summer. But if all else fails and Barcelona cannot sign nobody for like whatever reason, Carrasco will be that second to last or maybe even the last option. So that will be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.